we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done.
I've got my tea. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everybody. I've been tackling some more jobs in the kitchen. In this video, I've got two kind of little projects, mini ones, kind of like weekend jobs. And I just refreshed my thrifted table. That's about, well, I have it about 8 years and then it's had a long life before me. So my thrifted table needed a refresh. And also I'm stitching a really pretty floral table runner. So if you want to see how I made that, let's get straight into the video. So I want to throw it back to 2014. I spent €50 on this table and chairs secondhand, and I wanted to just share that with you because I wanted to just show how it's kind of evolved over the years, because sometimes I see thrift flips and I'm like, do they keep those items or what happens? But I do. So back in 2020, well in 2014, I painted the base in a satin wood. It was a Dulux. I don't recommend Dulux satin wood. It was awful trying to remove it, but I wanted to get that farmhouse kind of look, and I remember stripping the paint. I'm looking back at this old footage and I'm like, girl, you put a lot of elbow grease into that. So I stripped the paint and then I sanded the wood so it's pine underneath, and I wanted it to be like a whitewashed effect table, which it ended up, I did get that effect. And I also painted my table and chair, or sorry, the chairs as well, in a shade by Colour Trend called Tumbled Marble. So flash forward to the present day, this doesn't need much maintenance, but as you can see, there's speckles of paint, there's bits of grease, there is a little bit of damage to the tabletop, but not too bad for 2 years of wear and tear. So what I want to do is I want to just freshen up the top. The legs are perfect, there's like a white wax on the base. The table and chairs are holding up good as well. So I'm going to be using a wax oil, a hard wax oil by Authentico. So this should be more durable than the other wax that I use. So I'm just giving the tabletop a sand and I'm focusing on the areas that maybe had a bit of paint spill, bit of grease, bit of grime, and this is the product that I'm using. So I'm going to apply 2 coats of this. Now this, you have to wait 24 hours between coats. So 2 coats, 24 hours in between. This is the first coat, you put it on nice and thinly, and then the second coat you'll get more of a colour. So there is a tint to the shade that I'm using, and again I want that whitewashed kind of farmhouse cottagey vibe. So this is me just putting on the second coat, and then I gave it the full 24 hours to dry before I moved on to the fun part, which is stitching some floral fabric to dress it up.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic.
Let's make a table runner for my table, and you can customize this to any size. The fabric I'm using is Tilde, and I get my Tilde fabric from the Crafty Fox. They're in Drogheda, but they deliver all throughout Ireland as well. So as you can see, I have a round table and I just want to do a small straight runner. I don't have much of an overhang. In fact, I don't have any overhang because I didn't buy enough fabric, but also I have a cat. And what happens when fabric hangs? Cats like to play with them and pull it off the table. So I'm just measuring out. I did mine 13 inches wide and then the length of my tabletop. So your table is going to be a different size and you can completely customize this to however you want it. After my fabric is cut to size, I am going to be hemming all 4 corners, but I'm going to be mitering each 4 corners. Now, if you're a beginner, this might be a bit confusing, but give it a try. I encourage you to try it because mitering the corners just gives you a nice polished finish, and you can follow this same steps if you are doing napkins. Now, I was going to make napkins to match like the table set, but I was like, this fabric is too pretty for people to be wiping their faces in it. So I kept the rest of the fabric because I've got some other stuff that I want to sew, and I just think this floral fabric is so pretty. So I'm going to just show you how I am mitering the corners. I hope you will be able to follow how I do it, but I encourage you to even practice on a bit of scrap fabric as well. once I had mitered all 4 of my corners, I brought it to my sewing machine. I actually just ironed the hems nice and perfect before taking it to the sewing machine and stitching, top stitching all the way around all 4 corners of my table runner. And then I styled up my table, which you can see, and my red tulips were my treat to myself on Valentine's Day. They're from Tesco. I bought myself now a bunch of red tulips, and my table setup is, yeah, I wasn't having anyone over that day. No romance. It was all for the YouTube video. Also, if you're enjoying this video, please do hit that subscribe button and check out my other videos, and welcome to the community.
Stumbling out of bed, and I still got you in my head from all those pretty words you said. It's like I'm wasted. Every time I see your face, I'm losing track of time and space. I don't know where I am. It's like I'm wasted, and I won't waste it. And I promise that I will stand by you forever. I can't get you out of my mind. I will follow you wherever.
So, kitchen updates. If you saw behind me, there was like a bead board wall. It's faux. I did it with a marker. If you missed that video, I'll pop in a little teaser here and a card that you can click and you can check out that video. I like it. You know, if anyone has been over, I'm like, you like my wall? And they do think it's like paneling, even though it's a marker. So it's I like it. When I did it at the time, I was like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna look good, but I like it. So in that video, I was saying that I wanted to tackle some jobs in the kitchen. I wanted to paint my cabinets, change the countertop. So some updates. I've ordered a countertop. I'm just going with a plain light coloured, not a fancy marble stone. Girl, this kitchen, I feel like if I start putting marble and fancy slabs of stone in here, you would have to change your cabinets and stuff. It's definitely going to be more of a budget makeover. So I have ordered a countertop. Don't know if I'm going to fit it myself. I definitely could. I need a helper. The problem I have with fitting it is my sink is really heavy. It's a 2-man job, and also the electrical for the hob. So I can get my oven out, but the hob I can't seem to lift off. So I'm like, do I just pay a handyman to help me? I think possibly so. So my countertop is coming early March because, you know, them supply issues. And also I ordered a tap. Now it hasn't come, but I hope it's like, I hope it's nice. It's a bougie tap. It's like antique brass. Oh, but the sink I have is silver at the moment, so the waste thing, plug hole, is silver, and there's a rectangle backing overflow that's silver. So I was like, girl, I can't have a gold tap with silver bits. So I ordered like a set, so it's the tap and then the plug hole thingy as well. So I'm hoping that it's going to be nice. I don't have any brass or gold in the house. It's all kind of like, it's all silver, but I think I can get away with it in the kitchen because it's just that one sink facing the window. Yeah, we'll see. I hope it fits when it arrives. And I ordered brass knobs, brass floral knobs. So I have floral knobs in my kitchen at the moment, and I love them. Again, I have them years, but I've noticed that the back of them, there is a silver cap, and it's starting to, it's obviously not, it's a plated silver, and that is starting to be a bit like rusty and a bit kind of grimy. So I was like, girl, let's go with some brass floral to match the brass tap. And I have, as we speak, 5 different samples painted on the cabinets to decide on which colour, and I still haven't decided on a colour. But I think realistically, you take time when you're doing things like a project in your kitchen. So yeah, and supply issues. So I'm gonna pop a link to that video if you want to check it out. I only uploaded it a couple of weeks ago, so I hope you get a little bit of inspo. So this side of my kitchen I'm happy with. It's just now this side. Yeah. Oh, this is my first cup of tea today, so you know it's hitting me is hitting me good. So that is me for this week. I hope you have a lovely weekend and I'll see you all in next week's video.